All right, let's talk about a word you've probably seen on a course list and just kind of nodded along to. Pre-calculus. We all know it sounds important, but what is it actually for? Well, today we're going to dive in and demystify the math that builds the bridge to some seriously higher learning.
So let's just get right to it. The big question, what exactly is precalculus?
At its heart, it's pretty straightforward. It's a course, usually in high school or college, that mashes together advanced algebra and trigonometry. And its entire job, its only mission in life, is to get you ready for the world of calculus. But just saying it prepares you doesn't really do it justice. The absolute best way to think about precalculus is as a bridge, a very specifically designed bridge, because, and this is key, it's not just another review of algebra. You know, what's really fascinating is how its job is so different from, say, pre-algebra. Sure, pre-algebra gets you ready for algebra, but the way precalculus gets you ready for calculus, yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. Let's look at this comparison. On one side, you have pre-algebra, which is kind of like a broad tour of all the basic concepts. But precalculus? Totally different. It assumes you've got those basics down pat. Its focus is on mastering a very specific set of advanced tools, the heavy-duty stuff you never covered before, but that you absolutely need for what's next. So, if precalculus is our bridge, what are the nuts and bolts? What are these essential tools you're going to be adding to your math toolkit? Let's take a look. First off, you've got to make sure the foundation is rock solid. This means you're taking all those core algebra ideas, equations, inequalities, and especially functions, and you're going to a much, much deeper level. It's all about making sure those fundamental skills are totally unshakable. And then, once that foundation is set, you start building into some seriously cool new territory. This is when you really get to master trigonometry, explore conic sections, we're talking ellipses and parabolas, and get super comfortable with things like exponential functions and logarithms. You'll even get into vectors and matrices. Your mathematical world is about to get a lot bigger. This visual really says it all. Precalculus isn't just about one single thing. It's about learning to speak and understand a bunch of different mathematical languages all at once. The language of algebra, of trigonometry, of geometry, and then weaving them all together to solve way more complex problems. Now here's something you might not know. Not all of those precalculus bridges lead to the exact same place. Turns out, the course is often designed with your final destination in mind. That's right. The specific topics you end up focusing on can actually change a lot depending on what field you're planning to go into. That bridge is basically custom built for your specific journey. And you can see the difference right here. If you're aiming for a career in medicine or engineering, your precalculus course will probably go deep on things like conic sections and vectors, the stuff that's fundamental for physics. But if your goal is more business-related, your course might focus more on things like matrices or power functions, tools that are incredibly useful in economics and finance. So that brings us to the big picture. Why does all of this really matter? It's so easy to just dismiss this class as just another box you have to check before you get to the real stuff. But the reality is, precalculus is so much more than just a prerequisite. It's the intellectual foundation that makes the modern worlds of science, engineering, and business even possible to understand. It gives you the toolkit to model, to analyze, and to really comprehend the complex systems that run our world. It's really the key that unlocks a whole new level of understanding and problem solving. So the only question left isn't, what is it? But once you have these tools, what are you going to build with them?